Greetings to all, my name is Sethaerion and I welcome you to my channel. Today we're gonna play the Banner Saga, an amazing game from Stoic Studios. But before we get started, there is some things to be said. First of all, this is my first video I ever made. I'm new around here, so if I made some possible mistakes, please don't be too judging. Also, I would like to thank you all who's watching me right now. I really appreciate it. I hope we're gonna spend some time together. But enough of that, let's get back to our game. An incredible RPG with turn-based strategy tactics on combat system. Also with beautiful artwork and an incredible story between Vikings and giants, where our choices affects our personal journey in a wonderful fantasy world. Actually, I played this game, but not all of it yet, only the first 2 chapters. And I really wanted to play this game with you from the beginning. And I can't wait for the sequel, of course, that is too near. Now let us begin, shall we? The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survive through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers cold dreads deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli neðan vor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Hverfið á braut! Engan eigi ég hlut að máli þessu!
Okay, so here we are. We start our first combat. As you can see, it's a tutorial stage, so I'm gonna make it as quick as I can. But before I do that, I wanna let you know that if you want to read the messages, just pause the video so you can read it all. So let's skip the tutorial. Almost forgot. Before we skip it, I need to show you on the upper right of the screen. As you can see, there is a circle with a banner. That button is important on combat. because you can see if you click it, that glowing thing, if you click it, you can see the health and the armor, all the enemies and our units, our characters. Okay, so let's skip the combat as fast as we can. Okay, so we won this fight. The renown points you get, you spend it with mostly food or items from traders.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade, quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his lust. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I'm in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Okay, here we are again. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you leave in the great hall. He cuts to the chase. Eric, steward of Strand, I manage the governance business. Ubin, isn't it? It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. What did you have in mind? Scalpings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scatter after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you would join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. We'll have one option here, the market tent. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Hud, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The scalping sieved and bled out about an hour ago, Hud, so when you tell me what ran honest the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Eric needs some help here? Hard. I had a change of heart. I hope you do give us a hard time. Hard sweats, visible, falling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? Intimidate him. You motion to Gunolf, your enormous bodyguard, who looms over the man like a snake over a mouse. Gods, Eric, laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the scalpings? Nobleman up by East Wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Hud scalps away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blow over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Gunolf, were you wearing green back out of the Great Hall? No, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Better than an eggplant. Gandalf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours, seems unreliable at best. A blind dog would not trust Hud, but he used to be scalping. If they're licking their wounds, they probably gone to old hands, not new ones. Nobleman is a mid-hole? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who'd love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Soon we have an approach of some sort. What a luxury. Come on, you have already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual teeth. I will remind him. You arrive in front of what must be Nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I will point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get it over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of a table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken scalpings scrubbed to find their own weapons, turning tables and meat stains in the process. Okay, now we have a new feature in combat about how we're gonna deploy our units. Try this, but not too much. I'm gonna bring this little guy here near to our giants. Also, don't forget the banner on the upper right to see health and armor. Okay, we're ready now. Oops, wrong giant in wrong position. I have to remember that the correct giant with the special ability is the one with the green outfit. So I better try not to lose this battle. Phew, that was so close. I was almost lose one giant there. Finally we did it. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Eric is looking out the hall's windows into the bay. A fleet of long ships approach with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner I know well, Vognir. Next for Varl, King's ship last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Things makes a little more sense. You hoped I would have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the great hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stall our guest down on the docks, I will not object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustled from the mid-house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spot of silver for the mess. You keep an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Alright, let's play docks, and after that we're gonna finish our first part in this game. Vognir. A familiar Varl steps into the docks. In your mind you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Groheim, abundant in purpose. God, Subin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if there is Vognir there must be Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yokes? At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Zornder demands it. I will take that over lingering to death in Groveheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Arberang, in fact. And glad for it. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, calling Wolfhead emblazoned on red, the king of men or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Ludin. Do you know Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon has it. I would almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Groheim? I have the distinct feeling I have finished my business in Strand and I was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I would drink a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Mogur? Hakon have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few, others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Mogur. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I will be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Groveheim will be more interesting than most years, you think. Alright, that's the end of the first part of this game. If you like this video, go ahead and press the like button and subscribe to my channel to support me. Also, you can send me your comments and messages on my Twitter. Until next time, bye bye, take care.
Yeah.